From the heart of Houston, it's fun, it's engaging, it's Chattin' with Chelsea. She's daytime's new bestie. Here's your host, Chelsea Edwards. Come back to me.
Hey, besties! Thank you for joining me for another Chattin' with Chelsea. I'm your host, Chelsea Edwards. Do you have kids? Or do you know somebody who has kids? Well, this show is for you. We're getting into some parenting tips today. One of the big problems I myself deal with, even though I have a little toddler, is getting them off the screens and into the books. That is what we're covering today. We're also going to be talking about deliberate parenting. What does that mean and how you can incorporate it into your parenting style? We'll get into it. But before that, we got to do a little Chelsea chat. Now, I grew up Disney princess type. Like, that's what I watched on the screens all the time. It was VHS days, yes, but that's what I continuously watched. Like, I knew all the songs, you know, I was big into that, right? So naturally, as a parent now, I want my son to enjoy some of the same things. Like, I want him to be all into like being a hero and saving the day, being the prince, right? But I recently learned that he might actually prefer to be the villain. So we were playing the other day, and I had my little car, and I was just riding along, minding my own business, and he comes in with his action figure and grabs my car and says, "Oh, I got you now!" No. That was my first time I heard his villain laugh. I did not even know he knew how to do that. And I think that's his favorite part about playing the villain is the laugh. So even when we're doing other stuff like, "Hey, come put your shoes on," I hear it from the other room. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know where I went wrong, but we have some parenting experts in today to help get me right. Okay, so apparently I'm not the only one struggling. This family is too.
This is not my first rodeo, and plus he's a baby.
Okay, watch him.
Alright. Who does she think she is? Watch him. Time to play. Oh, phone. No. Boys, have you seen Kobe?
No.
Hey, what are you doing? Put that down. Put it back. Come here, boy. Where'd he go? All right, this is what's gonna happen. You go this way, and I go this way.
Not in here.
Oh, she's gonna shit on me. He's not in here. Ain't no way. Oh, hey, baby. He was just about to fall asleep.
I don't know why I ever doubted you, baby.
Not the baby making his own bottle with the little hands. Very cute. All right, I'm not the only one in trouble. Okay, but if you're thinking, "Hey, Chelsea, I don't have kids. I'm not planning on having kids. This show is not for me." Think again. This is.
I'm having one of those days that no matter how at least I don't have a kid. Say it with me now. At least I don't have a kid. Whew. Can you imagine? And if you do have a kid, that's fine. You should, like, I don't know, probably go check on them or something.
But yeah, maybe you should go check on them. So we got, you checking.
Where's my kid?
Where is your kid? Where
He's at
are
home.
your
He's
kids?
at home. It's okay.
Okay,
It's okay.
good. We're all right. All right. We both have toddlers. All right, we've got New York Times best-selling author of young adult fiction, Tristan Strong trilogy, Kwame Mbalia. Now you're launching your new series under the Disney imprint for middle grade readers, Jax Freeman and the Phantom Shriek. Wow. And you have 4 kids as well, so you know a lot about making sure they are where they're supposed to be.
Absolutely. First off, thank you for having me. Second of all, on my bio, I say that I am a husband first, then a father, then a New York Times bestselling author.
Oh,
we got to
okay.
put our priorities in order.
You're right. I love that. Let me rework my intro for you. Priorities. Okay, so tell me about your latest projects.
So Jax Freeman and the Phantom Shriek, my 7th book, which published last week, is my first book that I have released on my new imprint with Disney, Freedom Fire Books. And it is about a boy, a 12-year-old boy, who discovers that he can, on the eve of his birthday, talk to spirits and also channel power from the ancestors.
Wow. Okay. This sounds like something I want to read. And we're going to talk about how to get kids into books. But I want to know, since this is Disney's first imprint, about 8 years, how did this come about?
Well, Disney knows, one, that we were really successful with Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky, my debut novel, which turned into a trilogy. It was a bestseller. It was a Coretta Scott King Author Honor Award winner. That people were really hungry for these types of stories. And so after a few more books and a lot of talking and discussion and a lot of me being on Twitter shouting about my favorite books, they said, this guy Kwame really likes talking about books and writing these kinds of stories. Why not partner up with him to push more of these stories from African-American storytellers, African storytellers, Black diaspora storytellers from around the world.
Yes, and I love that Tristan Strong really dove into some of the African myths and legends that a lot of us barely knew, we barely got to know in school. We covered a lot of Greek and Roman mythology, but we didn't get into like the African legends and these are great stories.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of them have become fan favorites. In fact, you know, it's been almost 5 years to the day since that book has come out. And I still get asked, I did a reading last night of one of their favorite folk heroes, or heroines in this case, Gum Baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a fan favorite. I get to do voices, something I learned to do from reading and telling stories to my own children. So it's really my strong suit, I think.
Okay, all right. Well, we're going to practice our voices too. We're going to do that. But first, I just got to know, since I mentioned it in the intro, should I be concerned? You have 4 kids, so should I be concerned that my son seems to be gravitating towards a villain?
I'm going to take your son's side and say no. And you know why? Because we want them to have this imaginative play. We want them to be creating these stories. Maybe he's a little storyteller in the making.
Maybe.
So if he comes out with a drawn-on diabolical mustache in the near future and still cackling, then maybe we're
Maybe
but for
we'll be
now, I think
concerned.
we're okay.
Okay, all right. Appreciate that. All right, guys. We got more with Kwame Mbalia right after this break. We're back with New York Times bestselling author Kwame Mbalia. Okay, you have been writing your whole life, but how did you get into doing children's books, young adult fiction?
I was really pushed by someone who read some of my work that I thought they wouldn't get a chance to read. You know, they kind of went behind my back and read it. And they were like, Kwame, I would pay you to read more of this. And I was like, first of all, how dare you? Second of all, how much?
Right. What are we talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
And then I started really investigating, like, the path that it would take for me to go down and become an author.
Okay, all right. Well, congrats on the new series and all that huge launch for Disney. And so what's next for you after that?
Well, part of becoming a publisher is I don't have to solely publicize my book. I also have to shout about the other books that are coming out on the imprint.
I mean, what does it mean to be a part of this, where we're really hearing African-American voices?
I feel so grateful that I get to run around and not only talk to people like you and grown-ups, but I get to talk to young readers and get them excited about reading and literacy.
And so we got to talk about that, because it seems like such a challenge nowadays with all the screens everywhere. How do you keep readers or young readers interested?
I think it starts with they really emulate what they see, right? They are such copycat little creatures. If they see you reading, they're going to emulate that too. And so it starts with, are you reading?
Yes.
And are you sharing what you're reading? Are you reading together? are you reading things that they find enjoyable, even if you don't necessarily find it enjoyable?
So when it comes to the little ones who may or may not be reading by themselves, is it important to get an early start to make sure that they're interested in books?
With each of our kids, my wife and I have read with them nearly every single night. Books that they like, but whether it's simple, hey, point and identify pictures and read the words underneath, or stories that they choose. We make them choose the book. And sometimes it's the same book, 2 weeks in a row.
Absolutely.
But if that's what they like, that's what we're going to read.
Do your kids like your books, your older kids?
See, now...
See, you already hurt our feelings. We gotta...
You didn't have to, put me out like that. You know what I'll say is that each of my children, they have, read some of my books, not all of them. Right now, it's my 10-year-old who's really like, oh, hey, I need to go get a copy of Dad's book, whether or not it's to read or to show her friends, like, hey, my dad wrote a book. That's debatable, but at least she's interested.
Right. Bragging rights. That works too.
Exactly.
All right, so when you read to your 4-year-olds, you mentioned you do the voices. That's one way to keep them engaged.
Yeah, get them excited. Like, whether it's a really high-pitched voice or just a really low, deep voice, it's different. It stimulates them. It gets them excited. Maybe sometimes they'll even join in. And so it really just becomes a fun pastime. Does it get a little bit tired? They want me to read the same sentence over and over because it's funny and they're cracking up. Maybe, but it's enjoyable, and more important, it gets them excited about the act of reading.
So let me try my high pitch. Chatting with Chelsea was walking down the street. Is it like that?
Listen, that is 10 out of 10. I couldn't have done it any better. Absolutely amazing. We're going to get you to be Gum Baby at some point.
I am all about that. Well, how do you manage? I'm assuming you do this during your bedtime routine with the reading. How do you manage when you have multiples? Is it, the older ones read by themselves and you attend to the little ones?
So for my 10-year-old, she's really into the nonfiction I Survived series. And so she got some copies for her birthday. That's what she tucks into. The older ones, we try to tell them, like, hey, encourage, hey, this is reading time. This is reading time. Your little sister, your little brother's reading. You should be reading too. But again, are you showing them that you're reading as well?
Yes.
My kids will find me nose deep in a book throughout the day. So it rubs off on them.
Okay. I love your bibliophile household. I love to hear that. How much time do you set aside for the reading time?
Oh, boy.
Because it sounds like it could go on.
Listen, I try to, we do 2 books minimum. Sometimes he'll try to sneak in 3. It depends on how often he makes me repeat a section. But at least 2 books, maybe 3. 4 is on a good day. We had a very good day. You know what? 4 books, let's do it.
Nice. All right. What do you hope young adult readers get from your new book?
I hope that they learn a couple of things. One, the importance of learning the history, not only of your own family, but of the area that you're living in, whether it's Wisconsin, where I am from, whether it's North Carolina, where I currently live, maybe here in Houston, learning the local history, learning what it means to be different and still have friends that embrace those differences, and the transformative power of meatball subs. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That's a heck of a tease, I will say. Now I gotta catch up and get all these books. Kwame, where can people check out your new series?
I would really hope they pick up my books at a local independent bookstore like Kindred Stories right here in Houston, where I'll be signing them and leaving them for you all to go find. Local independent bookstores or any bookstores out in your local community, even check them out at the local library because they're doing powerful things for their community as well.
Okay, all right, we'll definitely check that out. All right, now that you're deliberate in your reading, we got to get you doing some deliberate parenting and everywhere else. Okay, so we got an expert coming up to help us out juggling all the things. We'll be back after this. if you're only keeping your kids safe and fed, our next guest, Dr. Barbara Walker-Green, says you need to get into deliberate parenting. There's so much more to do.
Absolutely.
So you have a degree in business management, but you started studying women's empowerment and it came up with The Unstoppable Shero, wrote that book. But how does that tie into deliberate parenting, and what is that?
Well, basically with deliberate parenting, what it is during my dissertation studies, I found that when researching about women and why there's not equality yet after all these years, right? A lot of it came up with how we're raised. How we're raised, specifically how we're raising our daughters. So a lot of the information that came up, there was this one guy, Pierre Bourdieu, and he came up with the term social capital. And basically social capital is anything that is, whether it's material or some kind of ideal that is considered valuable and highly sought after. So if you think about how we raise boys in sports and things, that is considered valuable and highly sought after. So our boys are raised in a way that they're acquiring capital earlier than girls, because the activities that girls participate in is not so highly sought after. So our daughters are behind in achieving this social capital. So the idea behind deliberate parenting is to equalize that and have us to raise our girls and boys so that they're both being raised with that social capital, with leadership skills and confidence and all the things that's necessary to make it in this world today.
So does that mean we're not raising our girls to be pretty princesses anymore? What does that mean?
I know, that's pretty tough, right? Because you want them to be feminine and pretty princesses, but it's just the way we communicate with them. You know, number one is making sure we have mindful moments with them and really connect with them, girls and boys, particularly girls though, and when we're talking about raising social capital. So we want to have mindful moments, mental check-ins, things like that.
What does that look like?
Well, basically, like you sit down with someone, you say, you know, how are you doing? Let's mentally connect with the kids, not just so much. And our world is so busy, right? We're so busy as parents. We get home, you know, the kids are running through the house as soon as you open the door, you know, off to play whatever they're playing. And we don't have a lot of time, you know, thinking about dinner. So you want to make sure that you sit down and have a mindful moment. How was your day today? And really, that's so important so we can connect with what's really going on with the kids that day and really sit down with them and let them express those emotions, because otherwise, who are they expressing them to?
Do you find that parents often focus on emotions when it comes to girls and not boys, and being able to vocalize those emotions?
So much so that boys withhold it a lot, and they, you know, they take it out. It comes out in aggressive behavior, right? So yes, that's another reason for the deliberate parenting on the male side as well. Just that point that you just made, because boys are not encouraged to be emotional, right? They're actually discouraged from being emotional, especially sometimes when it comes to dads. They're like, that's a girly thing, you know, man up, you know, those types of things. So again, because this world is so different, especially from when I grew up, you know, we played outside. We didn't have, you know, a lot of us didn't even have TV. Well, I'm not that old.
You're like, they were TVs,
but they had big antennas and things on them. But we played outside, so our parents, you know, it was no deliberateness in it. Again, they kept us safe, they fed us, they made sure we went to school, and they made sure that, you know, we were clothed. That was pretty much it. But we have to be more deliberate today.
So you mentioned that with the girls and deliberate parenting, that'll allow them to maybe step into roles that they may not have considered before, or, you know, ask for more money, things like that. Yes. When it comes on the boys' side, what does deliberate parenting do for them?
For them, it makes them realize that girls should be treated equally. You know, our country is run pretty much by men, right? Let's just face it, it is. And that's the reason why it's not that an accident that we make less money, is we're just being paid less money. And men have, you know, coming from a place where women used to stay home, take care of the kids. And a lot of times that's still the case for a lot of people. But, you know, the men are thinking, because they run the companies, they run the world. That's just the way it is. But they have this thought that you should be paid less. Your value is not the same as theirs. So it's also teaching them, you know, women and girls have the same value you have. So you have to treat them as such. You know, as growing up, you know, they're more your equal than this little girl that you can just push around and she will follow you around like a little puppy with, you know, puppy dog eyes. The boys have to understand that as well. So it's deliberate in the fact that both sexes are learning to have equal opportunity for leadership skills.
Anything else? Any other quick tips?
Open communication.
Open communication.
Open communication. Your kids have to be able to communicate with you. They cannot feel like you're not listening to them. But you also have to set expectations. Kids should have chores. You should hold them responsible for, doing what they're supposed to do and making sure that they're accountable. If they don't do it, there's some, obedience training. You have to teach them. There's so many schools of thought on how you chastise kids. I won't even go there.
Yeah.
But you have to hold them accountable so that they know there's consequences for not doing something, breaking curfew, whatever it may be.
Doesn't matter what chores the girl or the boy is doing.
That's where you want to make sure you don't make it gender specific. When I grew up, girls washed dishes, boys took out the trash.
Right.
That's just the way it was back then. But today they should share chores. It shouldn't matter who's doing what. That way it's not a girl chore versus a boy chore. Our world is changing so much. Women are all about it, right? We're out there, we're doing what we got to do, and we still have to fight for equal pay, So we have to, by deliberately parenting our kids, the boys and the girls will start understanding this is an equal opportunity world here, and we should both be able to compete and go out there and show what we can do and get paid accordingly.
Right, that's right. All right, girls can get in the yard too.
That's right. They get out there and rake leaves.
Yes,
exactly.
That's right. Okay,
exactly.
Well, thank you for helping to make sure that our kids are well-rounded.
Absolutely.
Have many gifts. All right. We'll be back on the other side of this break. I'll have my final thoughts. I want to thank our guests, and don't forget, if you want your kids to read, you got to read too. With deliberate parenting, you're not focusing on gender roles. Instead, you're making sure your kids are well-rounded, can speak to their emotions, and also do every chore in the house. All right, let me know what you think. Follow me at Chelsea Show Fox on social media, and we'll see you on the next Chattin' with Chelsea.